So I'm out here. It is windy like you wouldn't believe it. At least I got some pelicans flying, as you can see over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a whole bunch of other birds. I've had this really pesky alligator that's been kind of following me. Usually in front of the kayak, just out of reach. He's been popping up, looking at me, diving, popping up, looking at me, diving. This is a lake that's marginally and substantially of better quality than I've been to in recent weeks. The water is actually clear, which is just shocking considering everything else is so ugh. The downside is there's a reason why it's so clear. There's a nuisance vegetative plant that just takes over the lake profusely. It cleans the lake really well. That's partly why it's used in fish tank hobby. But the fact of the matter is that it just proliferates all over the place. It makes getting close to the shore slightly unbearable, and that's kind of the reason why I'm keeping my distance from the shore. It's a lot worse on that side over there than it is, than it is on this side. Getting out of the ramp was kind of a... Oh, there's a little alligator over there. I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but he's over there. It's so windy, they're trying to hide. But yeah, getting out from the ramp was a bit of a chore. And then there's places around the lake just completely at random. That's the downside to that plant. It doesn't really have a limit of growth, it just keeps growing. And then once it reaches to the top, it starts dropping seeds left and right, which in turn turns everything around it into a jungle. So I'm kind of keeping my distance. I've been at it pedaling for quite some time. Probably about 1.5 miles into the wind, and I can see the end in sight finally. The wind is going from just the solid kind of in your face annoying you to generating like a 4 or 5 inch chop on the waves because it's so open out here. So hugging the shore is really helping. The downside is when I have to turn around vegetation, it tends to spin the kayak a little bit, which is a little bit annoying. But we are almost to the turning point, which means it'll be far easier coming back to the ramp than it was going into the wind. And I keep telling you guys, if you go kayaking, and that's kind of the thing that you learn scuba diving as well. Go into the current, go into the wind. Because if you're tired and exhausted and have to come back into the current or the wind, it's just going to make it so much more miserable. You want it in your back when you're coming back. Well, what a difference does it make to be hidden behind trees? Just look at how calm the water is. Versus if I started panning this way. Off in the distance over there. See how choppy it is? And the further down the lake you go, the more choppy it gets. I've got to do something about my... I've been having this problem. Now granted, I've been putting a lot of miles on my kayak. The pedals started squeaking on me. Hear that? So, what's been helping is pouring water on it, but it's not really a solution. I've been putting this off and putting this off. I know you could rebuild them piece by piece, but Hobie makes those, you know, upgraded model pedals. If they weren't so darn expensive, I'd upgrade them a long time ago. Hey, there's an alligator over there. See if we could spot him. There he is. Just chilling over there. Look at it, so nice and comfortable and peaceful. Oops. Don't have to bother anybody, nobody bothers him. And it's nice and quiet. But the wind is not in his face. Oh, look at that. He is letting me know it does not want to move. Look at that. And that's a territorial display right there. Puffing himself up like that. It's like, I do not feel like vacating this position. Look at that. Let me see if I could zoom in a little bit on his scoots. You could tell a lot about the alligator by just looking at their body. And you could say that even though he's huffing and puffing over there, he's hardly worth mention. I would say just by looking, he is maybe 7 feet long over there, but the fact that he's blowing himself up like that just makes him look bigger. That's both an offensive and defensive tactic for the guy. And the fact that he hasn't gone anywhere tells me that, whoops, come on. Tell me that this is both his turf, and if this is a girl, there could be a nest up on the bank. So I'm gonna get just a little bit closer and see what happens. Okay, yeah, there we go. Just like I thought, chickened out. And again, look at the bubbles. The bubbles are there, so the alligator is there. I don't know if camera is even picking this up. The thing about this alligator is that the thick vegetation is actually preventing it from going down. So in a sense, it has to tangle itself in all this mess Not that he doesn't want to do it. He's off in there somewhere. Typically what they'll do in a case like this, just for sake of preservation, they do an about face, and then you start seeing swirls and bubbles, which means that they go for the deep end, effectively.